Yeah, pause YouTube. How's it going, everybody? Have for y'all today one hell of a UU Wi-Fi battle that I got off of my Discord against Kero. Quick little apology for not uploading a PS Live today. Just had something come up yesterday night, typically around when I do record, and just couldn't record one, but should have one up for you guys again tomorrow with another Wi-Fi battle. Also, I have one thing I want to mention after the battle is done, so if you guys could watch that, I would really appreciate it. And for those of you who are not aware, Kommo-o's Z move actually got banned from UU. Now, Kommo-o itself is not banned from UU. You can still use it in UU and even RU, but its Z move, Clangorous Soul Blaze, has been banned from UU. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. Of course, if you do enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button as well. So I'm using a pretty cool team that I used in the previous Wi-Fi battle that I got off of the forums. I'll leave a link to the forums in the description and a link of the team paste bin as well. Although you maybe just want to use regular Dragon Dance Kommo-o since Clangorous Soul Blaze is banned, as my opponent is using a sticky web based team, considering that he does have the Arachnid. So I have to make sure that I can prevent webs from being set up in this game. Also, this Mega Pidgeot is going to be slightly annoying if I lose my Aurorus or if I'm not able to get up my Aurora Bell, because switching into this thing is going to be a huge pain, considering that Hurricane plus Heat Wave hits everything for neutral or super effective damage except for my Aurorus here. So I do end up leading off straight with my Aurorus. I am Focus Sash. I did honestly expect him to lead off with the Arachnid, but he ended up leading off with the Mega Pidgeot, which makes a lot of sense since he is faster than me, and I most likely am not going to be Scarfed. Actually, I think even if I was Scarfed, he would still be faster than me. Regardless, though, I'm going to go straight for a Freeze Dry. Freeze Dry also covered him potentially staying in for whatever odd reason if we really wanted to, although realistically, U-turning there was definitely the correct play for him to have made, and Freeze Dry would have been able to catch the incoming Arachnid or the incoming Empoleon for super effective damage. As his red card activates, he red cards me into my Doublade, and this is a little bit annoying because I don't want Doublade to take any unnecessary damage in this match, because I want to keep it as healthy as possible for the Celebi, and then late game I can maybe Shadow Sweep him if I get rid of the Pidgeot or get rid of the Alolan Mug, sorry. So I do end up making a hard switch directly into my Sandslash here, just expecting him to try to get up his webs, which are perfectly fine by me because after I go for the Aurora Bell this turn, I will be taking less damage from anything that this Arachnid wants to do to me. And thanks to me getting off the huge hit with Freeze Dry and the Hail, it's going to make it a lot easier for my Sandslash to not only beat this Arachnid 1v1, but hopefully be able to prevent him from getting up his sticky webs, which if I can get rid of sticky webs, then this matchup is going to be a lot easier for me, because if they do stay up, then my Kommo-o is not as useful, and that could be really bad. Also, my Sandslash's speed is still doubled, but I'm only going to be at +1 as opposed to +2 because of the webs. So I will be able to go for the Icicle Crash here, and I break the top of the battle screen. Apparently, I don't know why it showed my bottom screen there. This background, though, this background is actually pretty awesome. I don't think I've seen this in game yet. If you guys could tell me where this is, I would really appreciate that, but I don't know where it is. I do like, though, that in the background they show like different kinds of the Z crystals, which is actually pretty awesome. So yeah, in comes the Pidgeot. My Hail is gone, so I can't really stay in here because I'm going to get absolutely annihilated by a Heat Wave, which is why I hard switch directly into my Aurorus here. I believe I do still have the Aurora Bell up, and I do resist the Heat Wave. Unfortunately, though, he does end up getting a crit, and that is just slightly annoying because this means the longevity of my Aurorus is now less than what it should have been. Like, I probably should have been at roughly like 45-ish% HP here, but because of the crit, I'm at about 25-30%, so that can maybe be a little bit annoying later in this match. But I will be able to take this chance to get up my Stealth Rocks. Now with Rocks being up, I can start chipping down the Muck, and I can start chipping down the Mega Pidgeot, which is the most important thing that I really wanted Rocks up for, although there's a chance he could have Defog on Empoleon, because typically they do run that unless he is more of an offensive variant, so I will have to be careful with that. As I end up staying in here, I'm going to go for the Blizzard, mainly just wanting to get off some chip damage on the Muck, because the more I weaken this, the more of a threat my Doublade is looking in the back Also, weakening this means that my Latios will be able to just come in and destroy it with the Draco Meteor, because this Latios actually has Thunder on it, which I know is a little bit odd with Hail, but yeah, it's got Thunder, so even Thunder does good damage to the Empoleon. So I do just end up going for another Blizzard, expecting him to just want to go safely for the Pursuit again, or this time go for the knockoff, but he actually ends up bringing in the Empoleon. Do kind of wish I went for the Freeze Dry, but I really didn't feel like I was in a position of where I can make that prediction. I really just wanted to get off that damage on the Alolan Muck. As this turn I'm going to be forced to switch out as I end up bringing in my Latios. I believe this is the final turn of Hail, if I'm not mistaken, so this next turn I could possibly go straight for the Thunder and get off a huge hit on this Empoleon, which is going to be really nice. I'm hoping that he won't see that coming, although at the same time he does still have the Muck in the back, so I'm going to try and pull a double switch here, expecting him to bring back in the Muck, thinking that I would just go for an offensive move in general and I could bring in my Auroras for free and maybe try to get up my rocks again, but he unfortunately just ends up going straight for the knockoff and knocking me out. And this is a little bit bad because now I can't get my rocks back up. So this is kind of where that crit plays a little role, because the next turn I might have been able to get up my rocks, or I could have gone for the Freeze Dry to get off some damage on the Empoleon, as I bring in my Alolan Sandslash here and I make a really questionable play. I end up going straight for the Earthquake. In hindsight, I honestly should have gone for the Aurora Veil, because I most likely still would have been able to live the Scald as long as he didn't burn me. But I guess in that sense, if he did get the burn, then I wouldn't have been able to knock him out with the Earthquake anyways. And if I did go for the Aurora Veil, as you saw, Earthquake there doesn't knock him out, so I could have gone for the Veil. Even if he didn't burn me, as I went for the Earthquake the next turn, he could have gone for the Defog, and then I might have had to choose to either Earthquake again or spam my Aurora Veil until I could possibly get it up. But at that point, he can maybe stall out my final turns of Hail. So I guess being aggressive there, going straight for the Earthquake, wasn't entirely too bad. As I bring in my Kommo-o here, I completely expect him to bring in his own Kommo-o, thinking I'm going to go for my Z move. So I will be able to take this opportunity to go for the Dragon Dance. And Shiny Kommo-o is truly glorious here. So I'm at +1 attack, +1 speed. I'm going to be doing a pretty solid chunk of damage to this Kommo-o. And because I do have the soundproof, he can go for his Clangorous Soul Blaze because it's going to fail. So I do get a little bit lucky here, and I pay him back for the crit that he got on my Auroras, and I crit him as he's going to try and go for his own Dragon Dance here. Now, the issue here is if I lose the speed tie, I think he can recover back enough HP to where he's going to be out of range of where my Drain Punch can knock him out. So I really didn't feel like I wanted to risk that 50-50 speed tie, so I'm going to make a safe switch into my Doublade here, expecting him to just want to go straight for the Drain Punch, or if he had like Dragon Claw or the Outrage, then switching into the Blade also covered that as well. So what this allows me to do now is just hopefully knock him out with the Shadow Sneak, but he's going to make an excellent play here and actually save his Kommo-o, because so long as he has his Kommo-o in the back, I can't safely bring in my Kommo-o and go for my Z move, because then I risk him making an immediate switch into my Kommo-o as I go for the Z move, blocking it. So then at that point he can possibly predict around me going for Dragon Dance, expecting Kommo-o to come in and either knock out my Kommo-o or just get off a huge hit, and I don't want that to happen. So he does end up making the switch into Muck here, as I'm just going to try to get off as much damage as I can. Again, if I get rid of this Muck or just weaken it enough, my Latios just comes in and wins. So I'm going to end up getting a crit here with the second Gyro Ball, but I'm pretty sure that I would have done enough damage to our Shadow Sneak, would have been able to pick him off the next turn anyway, so I don't think that crit there necessarily mattered, because he did end up mispredicting pursuing me when he should have just gone for the knockoff anyways, as even Hurricane just kind of breaks apparently any move or any animation that's above the sky, or what you're seeing right now, is just kind of broken. I don't know, I'm hopefully going to be able to figure that out so this doesn't happen again, guys. I apologize about that. So I'm going to bring in my Scizor here, just wanting to do as much damage as I can to this Pidgeot. At this point, this thing being at max HP is a humongous problem to me. In hindsight, I might have actually been able to bring in Latios here and gone straight for the Thunder as well, but if I had brought in my Latios, that could have potentially invited his Celebi to come in, which I still don't know what type of Celebi set he is running, so I'm going to be forced to bring in my Latios here, because if I brought in Kommo-o, I'm gonna get absolutely annihilated by a Hurricane. At least by bringing in my Latios, I can maybe bluff that I'm Scarfed, and he's gonna be forced to sack off Kommo-o, but he makes a really ballsy play and stays in and just U-turns. I don't personally agree with that, because if I was Scarfed, I just KO'd Pidgeot there, and right now Pidgeot is the biggest threat to my last 2 remaining Pokemon. So he ends up sacking off the Kommo-o, which is excellent, because now this means as soon as my Kommo-o comes in on the Empoleon or potentially the Celebi, I can go for my Z move, and then maybe we can end up winning with Kommo-o, although things are not really looking too good for me right now, as he does go for another U-turn with the Mega Pidgeot. I'm just gonna go straight for the Draco Meteor here, hopefully being able to knock out the Pidgeot or just get off a huge hit on whatever comes in, as in comes the Empoleon. This next turn, it's kind of questionable on whether or not a Psychic would have been able to knock out Empoleon, but my thought was that if he lives Psychic and he knocks me out, this means I bring in my Kommo-o for free, and I can definitely go straight for my Z move. But he actually ends up switching here directly into his Pidgeot, and I'm actually able to knock him out with the Psychic. I'm not sure why he made that play, honestly. Maybe he didn't want me to knock out his Empoleon to allow my Kommo-o to come in there, but if he wanted to do that, then he should have brought in Celebi, although I guess Celebi still could have allowed my Kommo-o to potentially set up on it. So yeah, I'm not sure why he brought in Mega Pidgeot there. I don't really agree with that. Like, he should have definitely sacked off Empoleon or tried to bring in Celebi, if anything. So I'm going to go for the Draco here in hopes that he would just try to finish me off, but he gets up his Stealth Rocks, which are a little bit annoying because his next turn I'm only down to 1 final hit, and I'm at -4 special attack. So expecting him to want to go for the Recover, I'm actually going to go for the Calm Mind here. This way I'm only at -3 instead of -4, so Draco Meteor can do slightly more damage, but at the same time he really loses nothing in just spamming Recover here, because there's no way I'm gonna like spam Calm Mind back to back to back to back to back. But I end up getting a crit here, and he actually did not go for the Recovery. He actually went for the Giga Drain. Now that crit is very helpful, but is it game changing? Not really, because it turns out that he actually did not have Psychic on his Celebi, which means his only offensive move was Giga Drain, but he did have the Thunder Wave. So let's say I didn't get the crit, and I would still be forced to go for my Z move here. If he had lived the attack, I would have been able to still Dragon Dance with Kommo-o, because I would also have the +1 in my special defense. Giga Drain is not doing too much damage to me, so I'm not sure if I'm actually going to have the move animation of Clangorous Soul Blaze in the video here, because I've been told by some people that it's copyrighted. So if like this video gets copyrighted, then I'll have to take it down, edit out the move animation, and re-upload it. So if it's not here, just pretend like you're seeing it, I guess. But if you are seeing it, it's freaking awesome, dude. Love the move animation. Kommo-o just busts the move, and all of its stats are just instantly boosted. And at this point, Kommo-o will be able to pull out the victory. Of course, if I didn't crit him and he T-wave me, the match would have been a little bit longer. And unless I got extremely unlucky with Parahaxes, then I still most likely would have been able to pull out the victory here. So Kommo-o being able to redeem himself from my previous Wi-Fi battle where I used him, and he unfortunately did nothing. So yeah, that was a pretty awesome battle nonetheless. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button down below, answer the comment question of the day. Also, if you guys did not get a little notification, I tried out the new community poll thing on YouTube channels. I did a poll regarding like uploads, so if you guys could go vote on that, I would really appreciate it, because you guys have a say in what most likely will be uploaded over the next upcoming weeks or possible months, depending on how things go. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So yeah, vote on that, do all the other shenanigans, and thank you so much, guys. I will see you all tomorrow with 2 more uploads. So later, everybody.
No matter where you're at, I'm not here to make friends, it's time to attack and deplete your HP with a final smash. Don't make me turn around and pull a 6-foot hacks. 6 foot hacks, yeah. 6 foot hacks, yeah. 6 foot hacks.